Did Mr. Bogdanov ever mention his relationships with others?
What kind of relationships? Are you talking about males or females?
Either.
Well, he had all these male and female companions. He was a real popular guy.
Did you ever meet any of these companions?
Oh, no. He just told us stories about them.
Us meaning...
Me and Monica, the other assistant sales clerk.
What about Piper?
Oh, Piper? She didn't listen to his stories. She's been around for a long time, you know? I think she had the deep respect for Mr. B and his private life. She even asked us not to engage in such conversations with him.
Why would Piper ask that of you?
Well, although she didn't want to admit it, I think Piper loved and respected Mr. B very much. She didn't think it was appropriate for us to talk about personal things with Mr. B. I think she was just jealous about the attention he gave to us younger girls.
GPSN regulations prohibit us from taking too much time of our citizens during investigations. They are busy people. We are limited to 1 visit per day for official business. An elevator leading upstairs. But it isn't the voice-commanded type. And it looks like it's locked. An elevator leading upstairs. This must be Mr. Bogdanov's office. Well, Mr. Bogdanov, I really wonder how you could be in charge of the thing store with an HDI of just 70. It's a Rubik's Cube. I remember working on those in my advanced binary logic training. It's only a one-sided Rubik's Cube. When you solve one face, other faces are automatically solved for you. I used to solve these in the 3rd grade. A piece of cake. I think I'm getting a little rusty, though. Wait a minute. One of the sides has a pattern. This looks like a very old book. An album of 2D photographs. I wonder who these old people are. Yes! Got it. I should check on this Mr. Anderson. PA, access GPSN census database and add Douglas Anderson's address to my navigation map.
Welcome to Douglas Anderson's law office. How can I help you?
This is Phoenix Wallace from the Adrianopolis Peace and Security Center. Inform Mr. Anderson that he has a visitor.
Officer Wallace, you do not have a valid appointment for this time. Would you like to make one?
This is regarding official peace business.
Please hold. Thank you for your cooperation. Please proceed inside.
Wow, Mr. Anderson. Aren't we a big fry with an HDI of 82? I'm sure Sandra has already dated you. How could she omit this red Ferrari in her collection of men with HDIs over 80? That must be Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson, let me introduce myself. I'm Phoenix Wallace, a senior peace officer from the Peace and Security Center.
Welcome. Please sit down, Officer Wallace. I assume you are here to discuss the murder of Mr. Bogdanov.
That is correct, sir. Do you have time to answer some questions about the late Mr. Bogdanov?
Yes, but only a few questions, please. I'm very pressed for time.
What's your area of specialty?
My area of specialty is international trade.
Are you challenged by your job?
Of course I am. But I do not see the relevance of this question to your investigation.
Mr. Anderson, thank you for seeing me on such short notice. I promise I will not take too much of your valuable time.
With pleasure. How can I be of help?
Do you know if Mr. Bogdanov had any NGO duties that would have required him to be in Odessa?
I have no knowledge of that. However, I highly doubt it.
Why is that, Mr. Anderson?
Because Mr. Bogdanov's primary focus was the success of his business. He was a hard-working man, determined to make it big. I doubt if he felt the need to volunteer his time for NGO duties.
You mean Mr. Bogdanov did not display any social responsibility? But what about his debt to the society?
You have to understand that Mr. Bogdanov arrived to the World Union after many years abroad. He had only been here for 3 years. He did not get enough from our society to feel a debt yet. Tell me, officer, could you display such responsibility when you were only 3 years old?
I see your point, Mr. Anderson. Did Mr. Bogdanov ever mention his relationships with others?
Occasionally, he mentioned a few names.
Do you remember any of those names?
Yes. One is Ms. Larissa Lukin.
What did he say about Ms. Lukin?
That she was his primary sexual partner, and they had known each other for 3 years.
Can you think of any other significant details about his connection to Ms. Lukin?
No, he did not elaborate on his relationship with her.
Any other names that come to your mind?
He often mentioned a Ms. Capello, who was his therapist, and Mr. Arnett, who was his image maker. These are the names I can think of right now.
I think I should check out these leads you've given me. May I come back if I have more questions?
Certainly.
Thanks for your help.
You are welcome.
PA, access GPSN census database and add Larissa Lukin's address to my navigation map. Also, locate a Dr. Capello and image maker Roger Arnett and add their addresses too. My first interview. I'm so excited. We've never needed a guard, but it's nice to have one here, just in case. This is Ingrid Valkoinen. She is the head of the Immigration Academy.
Hi, Ingrid.
Hello, Phoenix. How are you today?
Very well, thank you. And you?
Very good.
How successful are the recent immigration applicants?
They're doing very well. We had so many to pick from. I think most will pass the GCAT tests this year.
I'm glad they're responding well. Last year was not all that successful, was it?
No, not really. But it seems like 2047 will be remembered as one of the best years.
I need to get going.
Those indicators make the interview process an error-free experience. On the right is the neural impulse locator and the reviewer system interface. It tells me if the person is thinking one thing and telling another. On the left is the security coefficient indicator. Every time a fabricated consideration is intercepted, the computers automatically deduce points. If the score gets below 70, applicant fails. That must be Mr. Patel.
Hello, Mr. Patel. My name is Phoenix Wallace. I'm a senior peace officer here at the center. And I will be conducting your security screening interview. How are you today?
I am very well, thank you, Officer Wallace. And how are you?
Very good, thank you. Now, I'm going to give you a small brief about the procedure.
Okay.
You are here today because you passed all necessary tests required for you to become a World Union citizen.
I know. I passed all the tests with top marks. I will be a perfect Union citizen.
We will see that. I'm here today to evaluate your citizenship application from a security perspective.
So, in plain English, you gonna check if I am a crook or not?
I would not use words like that. But yes, I'm going to evaluate your fitness to our society from a security point of view.
Officer Wallace, I am a medical doctor. We made the same new enhanced version of the Hippocratic Oath, as suggested by the WHO, like the World Union Medical Doctors, and...
I understand and respect that, or Dr. Patel, I should say, but the rules are applied to all immigration applicants.
Okay, whatever. Let's get on with it then.
Can you please tell me about your childhood?
You sound like a Freudian psychiatrist. I thought his ideas in psychology were long gone.
Well, they are outdated, of course, since the studies of Dr. Derek Fisher in the 2010s. Well, you're a doctor, you know all that. Anyway, I need to ask you about your childhood.
Yes, right. I was one of 4 siblings of a nuptial family in Calcutta.
And did your biological father and mother work?
My father did. My mother was a homemaker.
So she worked too?
Of course she did, in a way.
What do you mean, in a way? You just said that she was building homes.
Officer Wallace, homemaker means she stayed at home and took care of us kids.
Oh, a housewife, you mean?
Yes.
I see. So, did you have a pleasant childhood?
Yes, I think so. My father was a high officer in the British East India Company.
Never heard of it. What did this company do?
Trade. Import. Exports. A very old and established company. I believe it still exists.
Did you get along well with your siblings?
Of course. Well, yes and no.
What kind of answer is that? It is a true or false question.
Let me put it this way. There were times we got along very well. And at times we fought.
Fought? Physical exchanges?
Sure. But in general, we got along well.
I suppose. What is your vision of the World Union?
The strongest and most advanced nation on Earth, of course. A system that everyone admires.
Let me remind you, the World Union is not a nation, nor a state. We don't even prefer to call it a country.
Yes, of course. It is a free trade area with no governing bodies.
Exactly.
I am sorry, Officer Wallace. That's what I meant. It is sometimes difficult to avoid certain words that you are used to.
Okay. So, can you elaborate on your vision of the Union?
Sure. The land of happy people, where capital crimes do not exist. I wonder how it is possible.
Absence of capital crimes?
Yes. Do you know how it is achieved?
I'm not sure. It probably has to do with our impeccable education system, I suppose.
I don't believe it can be that easy.
What is your opinion, then?
I don't know. None of the instructors in the academy had a satisfying answer for me either.
What career are you planning to pursue in the Union?
I am a cardiologist, and that's what I am getting ready to pursue.
That has to do with...
Human heart and related systems, Officer Wallace.
Are you planning to stay in Adrianopolis?
No. I would like to move to North America. There are many excellent hospitals there.
You don't prefer the hospitals in Europe?
Oh, I am sure they are as good. I just always wanted to live in America, the land of opportunities, as they used to call it.
What was the worst thing about the Immigration Academy?
The accommodation, of course.
What was wrong with it?
I can't really say that I had enough space for myself.
How about your roommates?
They were all right. The other thing I did not like was I couldn't choose my own study group.
You didn't like them?
Though I liked them fine, but I can't say they were brilliant or anything. Sometimes they would waste my time.
In what way?
Explaining trivial things.
Are you suggesting that your intellect was superior to theirs?
As a matter of fact, it was.
I was told that you took part in a riot.
Yes, I did. The most shameful experience of my life.
Why did you do it?
What can I say? It was mass hysteria. Science still cannot explain the true dynamics of such an act.
Did you do a lot of bad things?
Yes, I did.
Did you kill anyone?
Yes.
What did you feel when you killed that person?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just voidness. I don't think I was aware of what I'd done.
Do you believe you're capable to do it again?
What kind of question is that?
A fair and square one. Please answer it.
Definitely not. It was all because of that mass hysteria. Long time ago. Can't you see?
Yes, I can. I can also see that you are still feeling uneasy about your experience. What was the real reason of your involvement in the atrocities?
What are you trying to say, Officer Wallace?
I would like to know about your true motivation.
As I said before, it was mass hysteria, and science still cannot explain the true dynamics of such an act.
What made you join those people? Did they force you?
Yes,
You were lying.
I mean, I was.
You were what, Mr. Patel?
I had to act with them.
Why did you have to?
They were like a pack of wolves. I was scared. I thought, if I didn't act like them, I was in grave danger.
Did you enjoy it?
Enjoy? What are you talking about?
I asked you if you enjoyed killing someone.
No, of course I did not.
You are lying.
What? How can I be lying? I took an oath to save lives, not to destroy.
But you did destroy a life, and I believe you enjoyed it.
And what if I did?
Did you enjoy killing someone?
Yes. It had a certain texture to it. I cannot deny it. It's similar to having sex.
My goodness. How can you compare murder and sex?
Do you recall when you had sex for the first time, Officer Wallace?
Of course I do.
Your approach to life changed forever, didn't it?
Well, I can't really say it did.
Then you obviously don't know anything about real sex. I am from India, and we have an ancient tradition of quality sexual encounters.
Okay, I read Kama Sutra too. What does all this sex talk have to do with murder?
First of all, reading Kama Sutra and understanding it are different things. When you experience real sex, there is no turning back. Any other type of encounter is null. I feel like murder is like that too. When you acquire the taste of killing someone, there is no turning back. I don't think you can really ever understand what I am talking about, because you are not intelligent enough.
Maybe not so. But it doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand that you are suffering from a deep psychosis, and only a sick mind can have fond memories about killing another person. You are a true psycho, Mr. Patel.
You can never understand it.
And I don't need to. Guess what, Mr. Patel? I really don't like you, and neither does the computer. Your responses to my questions scientifically prove that you are nowhere near being a fit person for the World Union Society. I formally declare that you fail this security screening, and furthermore, you are banned for life from entering any areas under World Union control. Goodbye, Mr. Patel.
My goodness, he was a true psycho. You should be proud of yourself, Phoenix. You eliminated a scum who was about to make his way into our union. That is the interview room. We give novices security interviews in there. If they pass the interview, they become union citizens. The flat of Ms. Larissa Lukin.
Welcome to Larissa Lukin's home. How can I help you?
This is Phoenix Wallace from the Adrianopolis Peace and Security Center. Inform Ms. Lukin that I'm here.
Please hold. Working. Thank you for your cooperation. Please proceed inside.
That must be Ms. Lucan.
Hello, Ms. Lucan.
Who are you?
Oh, I am Senior Officer Phoenix Wallace from the Adrianopolis Peace and Security Center.
What can I do for you, Officer Wallace?
I would like to speak with you regarding urgent peace business.
Oh, I don't know. My sorrow is very deep. Maybe some other time.
Ms. Lucan, I understand your sorrow. But life goes on, and if we are to catch the people responsible for this act of barbarism, we have to move swiftly. I need your assistance.
I don't think you can understand my sorrow. I don't think I can talk in politically correct manners right now. Please, come back later, okay?
Ms. Lucan, I promise I will not be offended by your manners. I just need a few minutes of your time.
Well, okay then. Just for a few minutes, right?
Yes, just a few questions.
Please, sit down.
Thank you for your patience, Ms. Lucan. I certainly appreciate your time.
You're welcome, but please let us be brief.
Your accent is peculiar. Where are you from?
Originally from Russia,
Oh, so where did you learn English?
I took English courses at the Immigration Academy.
Did you enjoy the conditions at the academy?
Well, they were much more harder than the conditions I have now. Even more difficult than the conditions I had in Russia. I was a rich woman there, you know.
So your money was a big influence in your HDI?
It certainly was. My capital had a big influence in my pre-academy HDI score. I still had to pass the exams, and I did, with the help of my poor Vasily.
I guess we have a more secure life here than in Russia, right?
Oh, definitely. In Russia, you never know what will happen next.
That bad, huh?
Yes, law has no meaning there.
When did you start dating Mr. Bogdanov?
About 3 years ago, right after I graduated from the Immigration Academy.
So you bumped into him straight away?
No, we actually met in the academy, graduated together, and then started dating.
Why would Mr. Bogdanov go to Russia?
I have no idea.
This is very important for my investigation. Are you sure?
Yes, I am. No idea why he would want to go there.
Did he ever speak about going back to Russia?
No, he did not. To my knowledge, he definitely had no intention of returning. Then again, who knows?
Did he ever visit Russia between now and his graduation from the academy?
To my knowledge, no.
Do you know what Mr. Bogdanov's line of business in Russia was?
To my knowledge, he was in the nuclear waste disposal business. In Russia, they have a big problem with nuclear waste, you know.
So I heard. Nuclear energy is such a dangerous and harmful energy source. I can never understand why rogue states still insist on using it.
Who knows? All I know is I grew up in Belarus, which does not have a history of nuclear disasters like Ukraine. There are plenty of Russians, Belarusians, Indian, Chinese, even Arabs in the academy. But I did not see any Ukrainians. They perhaps failed the genetic tests.
I'm afraid that is true. Most of our Ukrainian applicants have severe genetic defects, nearly all of them due to genetic mutation caused by radioactivity, mostly inherited from their ancestors. After all those years in Russia, do you ever think of going back?
You are joking, right? I went through a lot to arrive here. Why would I want to go back?
Perhaps you miss people? Places? Friends? Former biological family members?
I assure you, there is no one I miss back there. Besides, no sense in missing any biological family. Are we talking about compassion? Altruism? Are you checking on me?
No, certainly not. I just wanted to get some insight, that's all. What did Mr. Bogdanov think of Russia?
He called it the cursed land. He was ever so happy when he passed the final security screening. We knew we were going to get everything that was promised to us while in the academy.
Everything that was promised?
We were told about all the wonders and beauties of the Union during our classes. We could see the skyline of Andropolis from our dorm rooms and dream about shopping at the magnificent pyramid. Believe me, it was far more impressive than a full moon.
What was?
The mighty pyramid of Adrianopolis, of course, glowing from a distance.
Well, you should see the one in Washington, D.C. someday.
I was planning to go there with Vasily next year. I think it is time for you to leave, Officer Wallace. I am not feeling very well.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset you. I can leave now, if you want.
That would be very nice of you, my dear.
Okay. Can we continue some other time?
Certainly, when I feel a little better, perhaps.
Maybe you can talk to your therapist, just to ease things a bit.
I will.
Goodbye, Ms. Lucan.
Can you call me in advance the next time?
Certainly.
You will get them, won't you?
I assure you, we will.
Poor woman. It must be very difficult to be in her situation. I can't even imagine what she must be going through. I think I handled her all right. It's getting late, and I'm beat. Time to head home. My cozy couch. I don't need to wash my hands. My revitalizing shower. My library, otherwise known as the throne. That's where I keep my clutter. The accumulation of my life. What should I wear? I love my view of the pyramid. It's quite calming. Then again, every single house and apartment in the city enjoys it too. The city is engineered in such a way that every house has a view of the pyramid. My holovision, my prime source of entertainment.
Here is the latest from your favorite news channel, WXBG Adrianopolis, your connection to the world. Our city woke up with a shock this morning, the death of a prominent professor of the Adrianopolis University. Dr. Melvin Philip Spencer, a leading history scholar, was found dead in his apartment. Our sources in the GPSN Peace and Security Center indicate that Dr. Spencer's untimely, accidental death was caused by an unauthorized electronic device. The specifics or the origin of the device is not released. However, the authorities urge any users of such unauthorized electronic devices to report to the rehab center immediately for a complete checkup, since their lives may be in danger. It is mentioned that such devices may cause permanent damage in the brain, genetic makeup, and even death. as in the case of Dr. Spencer. Now to the other news.
That is shocking news. 2 scandalous deaths in 1 week. My comfy bed. Unfortunately, I rarely have company in it. I wish Sandra would stop teasing me about that.